Creating a Twitter presence begins with choosing a handle. You have 15 characters. You can be relatively descriptive or relatively inventive. So it's important, and as a consideration when you're developing your other social media points of presence, think about how your Twitter handle may limit or constrain the names that you choose in other places. Ideally, if your business can have a consistent handle across a number of social media spaces, that's advantageous when it comes to promoting yourself. It's not a requirement, but if you can do that, spend a little bit of time up front and think about your Twitter handle, your Facebook handle, and those kinds of things together, and you'll have an easier time promoting your business. We're then going to step into branding and designing your page and see how to do that. And then finally, some best practices on building your social graph. So here is the Twitter initial screen. If you have an account, you can log in. If you don't have an account, you sign up for one right here. In order to create your Twitter account, you put in your full name, your email, and your password. Now, unlike Facebook, Twitter allows you to create an account for each email. As many email addresses as you have, you can create an account for each one of those. So here, if you want a personal presence versus a Twitter business presence, you can use your personal email for one and create one completely separate account, and then use your business email address for your business Twitter presence and have complete and true account separation. So you simply click sign up for Twitter. It's going to ask you a couple of basic questions. And at this point, I'm going to jump to my profile because I'm going to show you some of the features that you'll want to know about when you're setting up your page. So here we are. We're now on my personal and professional, and I mix personal and professional in my Twitter stream. So we're on my Twitter page. You can see some basic information about me. And what I really want to do is I want to jump over to the settings section. And I want to show you some of the basic things that are here. Here's where you set your time zone and that kind of stuff. This key right here, adding location. If you add location, it means each time you tweet, the geographical location of where you are will be made visible to people that are following your posts. That can be interesting if you want people to find you, and it can be something that you definitely want to take off of there if you don't want people that you don't know being able to find you. So it can help with check-in services and other kinds of things. Just recognize that if that's turned on, then location information is divulged to people. You have other options here. You can protect your tweets. I don't recommend this for a business account unless it's a kind of business that warrants this. But in general, if you protect your tweets, what it means is no one can see what you're talking about, which will definitely limit the growth of your follower basis. You've got some other options down here. When you're setting your password, choose a strong password for Twitter. Take the time to set up a strong password. No doubt, if you've used Twitter, you have gotten that inevitable post from people, hey, it looks like my account was hacked. You can avoid that by, number one, choosing a strong password in the first place, and then obviously being careful with that password. Where I want to look is in the design section and show you how you can very quickly create an attractive Twitter page. You can pick various backgrounds. Maybe you want plain black or some abstract vegetation and flowers or birds or something like that. You have various colors that you can choose, and you can specify very specific color settings. So if your brand designer has given you a color palette, you can actually use that color palette on your Twitter page. When you're done, you simply save your changes, and with the changes saved, you just jump right back and you go to your page, and there's all the stuff that is available to both people that you're sending to and people that you're following from, and so on. All of this is now available, and your page is set up and it looks nice and it makes a nice representation in your business. When you are using your page, the easiest way to grow what's called your social graph, or to grow the traffic that's following you. Here's someone, Paul Gillen. I was just speaking with Paul, so I'm going to follow Paul. And by adding Paul to my network, what I'm actually doing is I'm now going to see what Paul is talking about. Here's another difference between, for example, Twitter and Facebook. On Facebook, the adding of a friend requires both an invitation and an acceptance of the invitation. In the case of Twitter, Following someone simply is an action on your part. You simply choose to follow someone and you can then see what they're talking about. Now, if that sounds a little odd, remember you have the ability to protect your tweets if you don't want things to be public. But otherwise, what you're fundamentally saying on Twitter is what I post is being posted for public consumption. In other words, anything that you're putting on Twitter, assume that everyone is going to read it and post accordingly. That actually makes it very easy to develop your base using things like the retweet function and other things where you see something interesting and it's easy to push that out to the people that are following you. And as you post more interesting content, people will tend to retweet your stuff to their audience as they retweet to their followers and their audience. Then those people are going to follow you and you'll see your follower and following counts grow quite nicely. When you're initially following people, it may be tempting to follow a whole bunch of people all at once. In general, don't do that. Follow the people that are important in your industry, follow the people that are important in your business, see what they have to say, and sort of, take 2 steps and then take a breath, and then take 2 more steps and then take a breath. Don't use the robotic tools to just all of a sudden amass this big follower base and then wonder why it all just seems like noise, because that's exactly what it will seem like. And what you really want to do is you want to just move slow and follow some people and see what they say and contribute some things, post some articles, see what people like, see what they retweet, follow that kind of thing. Take a cue from the people that are following you on what they found interesting and build your base that way. There's a quick walkthrough of Twitter. Again, you simply sign up, choose your handle, go to the profile page that I showed you in your settings page right here. And then when you're done, be sure to sign out. Don't leave yourself logged in on your laptop, because obviously if somebody else walks along, then they have the ability to post as you, and you really don't want to do that. Take advantage of the mobile tools. Remember, Twitter runs in a bunch of places, so you can actually use that to keep in touch with people, regardless of whether or not you have your preferred computing device with you. You can carry it on your mobile phone and, in general, make very good use of this platform. So creating your Twitter presence, establish your handle, brand or design your page, and then build your social graph by following other people, paying attention to what's going on, and offering unique and interesting content of your own.